and welcome to AnimeCons TV's first podcast feedback episode for 2014.
Yay, 2014! I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Sketch.
And we love hearing from you guys, so once a month we take one episode and we look at your feedback and listen to your voicemails and read your emails. And this month we have a voicemail, and we're going to show you what's coming up on our social network stuff and share that list of conventions that you see every month. So let's start off with those voicemails.
Voicemails! Okay.
There it is.
And I will occasionally watch you.
Occasionally.
Occasionally. I'm hurt, movie phone guy.
I thought you religiously watched us.
I guess not.
Oh.
Maybe he watches all the episodes once a month altogether.
Oh, he binge watches. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so we have an email.
Email.
Hello, AnimeCons.com. I was
Okay.
wondering if there are any conventions this year that have animators on their guest list. I would love to get into the industry, but I just don't know where to even start. Speaking to some current animation professionals and hearing from them would be a big help to me, but I have looked in all of the available cons in my state for this coming year, and none of them have animators in their guest list. I know some are still far off, but I was wondering if you guys can help me sift through this stuff or give me some idea of some key animators that might be able to answer my questions. I don't even know any by name. May the Lord bless you always. God loves you. God bless. From Ivan.
Okay, Ivan. Well, the thing is, animators really aren't pulled in for coming to conventions because animators are a team of people to produce the animation shows. So obviously, if you're at an anime convention, they would be from Asia. All the countries there, because Japan usually outsources it to smaller companies in like Korea and Vietnam or something like that.
And they're not really the big names that bring people in, like voice actors or the big draw, and then sometimes producers and writers. The animators are kind of not what will be like, oh, I want to go to that con because they have so-and-so going.
Yeah. But you should actually try to research more of the firms that do it, either American ones or the popular anime companies. Basically, what really comes down to is just kind of the education of how animation works, and you really should look into school programs on a college level. We have art schools left and right, and they're always eager for animators. I was offered a job early off after college to work in New York for Nickelodeon, but wasn't quite what I wanted to do with my drawing, so I turned it down.
But you should also find out who the animators you like are. Figure out who's actually doing animation where it is a big factor in their show. And there might be some shows out there that are like that. And, when you're watching a show that's animated and it's one that you really like, see who the animators are. And that way you can talk to them because they're working with your style of show and style of art. That would be a good place to start, not animation in general. And I would also take a look, I don't know what kind of cons you're looking at, but definitely geared more towards comic conventions. If it's an American style you're more interested in, because they'd be more likely to bring in people who are working on American shows, and I think that would fit more of it in a comic book convention setting than an anime setting. And I know there was actually a con that just started up in New Hampshire called DrawnCon, DRAWN Con, where it was all about American animation. I don't know if they brought in any animators, but that might be one. Look for that style of convention.
All right. And now let's take a look at the AnimeCons.com's list of anime conventions that are coming up for March of 2014.
AnimeCons TV. Next week is our 100th episode.
What are we gonna do?
We are going to take a look at what has happened over the past 5 years since we started doing this 5 years ago. How did that happen?
5 years?
5 years.
Oh God.
And what's changed over the years. Patrick's going to report from Animation on Display in San Francisco. And then Doug's going to have a conversation with legendary translator, interpreter, and writer Fred Schott. And he was telling me about the interview, and he said it's really great, so you guys definitely should check it out.
Alright. Well, don't miss any episodes by subscribing to us on iTunes at itunes.animecons.tv.
Or on YouTube at youtube.com/AnimeConsPodcast.
Or watch us on our site at animecons.tv.
And then we have a Twitter, which is twitter.com/AnimeTV.
Facebook.
And Google Plus, if anyone uses it, at google.com/+AnimeCons. And now we're on Tumblr!
Yeah!
I still don't get Tumblr.
I don't know. I don't know if we can keep up with the demand of what people usually use Tumblr for, but we'll try.
So,
yeah.
Follow us there at animeconstv.tumblr.com, and you'll get notified whenever there's a new episode. And it might get lost between all your Sherlock and Doctor Who gifts, but whatever, we're there. Follow us on Tumblr.
And again, we do love your voicemails, even the singing ones. Leave us your crazy or serious messages. Call us at 762-ADEQUATE. That's 762-233-7828.
You can also call and ask a question, offer a tip, give us a con report, and try to keep your voicemails between 30 and 60 seconds.
And if you want to email us, send it to podcast@animecons.tv.
That's all we have for this week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Oh, shh. Let's go. Good. Come on, Mike.